Another exciting David Pollack Show featuring Puppet Carlson, and tonight we are talking about our new President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. That's right, Donald Trump has been inaugurated and he's president. So we're going to be talking about him. We're going to be talking about the executive orders, all the pardons, all the exciting things happening, confirmation, so much more, and all of it is coming up right after this.
Americans are feeling the squeeze, struggling with the cost of everything from gas.
How do you feel about the economy? Raising interest rates.
Iran's most intense strike ever against Israel.
Get up, Puppet.
What, Dave? What?
We got work to do.
Puppet Carlson reporting for duty. I'm driving, Dave.
You're not driving.
I am driving, Dave. I'm in the Cybertruck.
Come on. I'm gonna regret this. All right, I don't know about this. Are you sure you want to try to drive?
Dave, Elon made this sucker to drive itself.
All right.
Let's boogie. I got this, man.
Can you even reach the pedals?
Sit down and cool it.
Puppet, pick a lane.
Chill out, Dave. I'm a non-binary driver.
Let's get to work.
Wait up, Dave. I'm the star of this show.
Puppet! We are back. It is an exciting week, Puppet. You know why?
Why is that, Dave?
Donald Trump is president of the United States now. Buddy. And we are back live here for another new David Pollack Show, but this one is a much more special David Pollack Show featuring my patriotic plush pal, Puppet.
That's me, boys and girls. And you know what they say, Dave? The fleece stops here.
The fleece does stop there.
It does.
Let me tell you something,
Stop
Puppet.
all that fleece from happening.
Puppet, I know we weren't live last week, and I hope the viewers enjoyed whatever we left for them. But you know where I was last week? You know where I was last week, Puppet.
Was it the inauguration, Dave?
I was at the inauguration of our 47th president, Donald J. Trump. And I can't begin to tell you what that was like. I was a little bummed out that we couldn't actually watch it live or see the parade. But, you know, it was
You went
cold.
to one of those fancy balls, though, didn't you?
I did. I'll tell you about my balls. I'm going to tell you about my balls because
I can't wait to hear about your balls, Dave.
Yeah. So I went to
away from a manhole. You know that. You know what I'm saying.
I did. I went to a couple of balls. I'm going to tell you about them, but I want to tell you about how momentous the occasion was. And if you guys saw his speech, and look, I have the swearing in video here.
Oh.
I mean, here, check this out.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
That I will faithfully execute.
That I will faithfully execute.
The office of President of the United States.
The office of President of the United States.
And will, to the best of my ability.
And will, to the best of my ability.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Who was that skeleton right there that shook his hand?
That was the outgoing president.
Oh,
yeah.
That was bribing. Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. His speech was fantastic. A lot of people, even liberals, were like, you know what? I kind of agree with some of the things he's saying. And he came right out of the gate, pardoning all the 1,500 J6 political prisoners. He pardoned those
hostages, 20. He called them
hostages.
Hostages.
He
I
pardoned.
Love that.
He declared the border an emergency.
Yes, he did.
He pardoned those 23 abortion protesters. You remember those evil people that were praying outside the abortion clinic? Look,
I mean, they're. I mean, can you believe these people, Dave? I mean,
Terrorists.
lock them up.
Yeah, domestic terrorists, right?
They are. Those
So
people
Joe
over in
Biden's
Aurora, Colorado,
Mhm.
those people are fine.
Yeah,
Those gang members,
the cartels.
those are people that
fine.
are okay. Those are people that are good people.
Yeah, cartels
These people are
good.
bad people.
People singing music out front of an abortion clinic.
Lock them up, Dave.
Yeah, because they blocked access to the
Yes,
door, which is against the law there.
Complete
So,
huge
but guess,
crime.
yeah, huge crime. Put them in jail, right?
Yeah.
Trump
Throw
pardoned
away
them.
the key, Dave.
Right. Well, of course, we can't have people
Let's have merch on
standing in the way of abortion. So,
That's
women's
right.
rights, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
So,
Unless you're a man, then women's rights don't matter.
right. You just have to change your identity. Now, if those were pro-trans protesters in front of an abortion clinic, it would have been just fine.
Pro-trans songs and
It would have been just
kicking
fine.
their
Waving
pro-trans ass.
Palestinian gay flags or whatever
Yeah,
they
that
do.
would have been fine.
It would have been totally fine.
He would have given him a president a medal of honor.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But because, white Christian praying outside of a jail, throw away the key.
Yeah.
So Trump pardoned them.
Had to get a pardon to get these people out. Ridiculous.
Right. Then, of course, one of the big ones that we're excited to see here is this one.
Okay.
Lastly, sir, we have an executive order ordering the declassification of files relating to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
That's a big one, huh? A lot of people are waiting for this for years, for decades. And everything will be revealed. Okay? Give that to RFK Jr.
Yes, sir.
I love that last bit. Where he
Give that to
hands the
RFK
pen
Jr.
over and he says, "Give this to RFK Jr." That was just so good.
I know. So we're excited to see the release of that.
I watched your video on this the other day. The video that you put on your Instagram channel, Dave,
Yeah.
and your TikTok. The one about the your thoughts on the releasing of documents on the JFK. Yes, people should go and check that out if they haven't watched it already. You made a good point in that video.
Yeah. You guys got to go to my TikTok at David Pollack USA and Instagram at David Pollack USA. Yeah, and I'll give you the summary. I don't think there's going to be a lot of there. The reason for that is in that video over at on TikTok and Instagram at David Pollack USA. Looking for that video with JFK files because my reasoning is there, and so I need to give somebody a reason to go there. Go check it out, guys.
I mean, that's a whole different show. We could do a whole show on that.
We really could do a whole show on that. So that happened. Then, of course, Pup, and I'm going in succession because, I forgot. So tonight we're doing the show, if you guys have seen, it's called The Music of MAGA. And the reason for tonight is, look, there's a lot of news. Trump is president again. If you guys forgot what it's like when Trump is president, there's going to be a lot of news. Every week, we are going to be loaded, piled up with news. There's going to be a lot to talk about, exciting things that are making America great. But this week, in celebration of this momentous victory for all of us, I decided to kind of take it easy a little bit. Now, I did want to cover the breaking news, but tonight we have a show, The Music of MAGA, because I have some of my good friends that perform all over the place, whether they perform at patriotic events or whether they perform patriotic music. These are America's conservative musicians, The Music of MAGA, and I wanted to bring that to you tonight. So after the break, we're doing things a little bit different tonight. I'm bringing in my musician friends for our panel, but we're not going to talk too much news. We're really going to talk about art and music, and you guys are going to love it. But in rapid succession, I got to cover all the news, right, Puppet?
That's it.
So also this week, of course, we had Pete Hegseth confirmed J.D. Vance tie-breaking vote. Check it out.
Bongino Army Marshals, like we did for Pete Hegseth. I can't tell you how proud I am when we do it, and getting Pete Hegseth through and the Bongino Army being a big part of that, I got to tell you all out there, sincerely, candidly, from the bottom of, as I always say, my sometimes broken heart, look at me. I love you guys, and I deeply appreciate what you did. And I'm going to tell you something. I know Pete Hegseth, Secretary Hegseth, gosh, that sounds good. Secretary Hegseth feels the exact same way. And I know his lovely wife, Jen, feels the same way too. Thank you. But ladies and gentlemen, our mission isn't done. Thank you, Bongino Army. for Pete. But now we have to move on to cash. Pete's got his own mission now. Secretary Hegseth is going to clean up our broken military leadership and make it the most lethal killing machine in the world from now till perpetuity. But now it's time to move on to Kash Patel. We can't just...
That's right, Dave. We got to get to work.
And he's right. And Dan is 1,000% right, because we have, Kristi Noem was confirmed. That one went too tough. Marco Rubio is confirmed. Kash Patel looks like he has the votes. Tulsi Gabbard, that one looks like she has some hurdles to overcome. Same thing with RFK Jr. So here's the interesting part, right? Our two Democrats turned independent / Republican, right? Tulsi Republican, RFK being independent. They're having the hardest time because Democrats won't do a thing to put those people through because they have to punish them. They have to punish them because how dare those Democrats leave the plantation? You don't get to speak out against our policies. You don't get to speak out against our party and go join them and that man. They are going to make it harder for those two, I think, than everybody else. And if you saw McConnell run off and go high-five his friends on the Democrat left after that Hegseth vote, where J.D. Vance had to come and break the vote, if you saw that happen, I promise there's a couple of little rhino Republicans that are willing to do some of their Democrat friends the favor and keep those people from going through. Why? Because it teaches people a lesson. Republicans, don't betray our D.C. swamp. Democrats, don't betray your D.C. swamp. Just like Trump had the courage to betray the D.C. swamp. And look what they did to him. So Dan Bongino is right. We do need the Bongino army. And we also need the David Pollack Show army and the MAGA army and everybody across this country to call your representatives and tell them to put Trump's cabinet through. It is not the Republicans' choice. They have advice and consent, yes. But Trump won the popular vote. He won the electoral vote. Those are his picks. Put them through. Put them through. Right. Who did they confirm? Do you see the people they confirmed in Biden's administration? Put our people through. Dan Bongino's right. So that was a very big with the Hegseth. Now we'll see what the other two come through. And, of course, we had our showdown in Columbia this week, Puppet. You saw it?
You just can't. The Democrats walk in lockstep all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They cannot afford a dissenter in their midst, so they have to punish the dissenters. They have to, because the whole thing that makes the Democratic Party work is they always vote in lockstep. They always move in lockstep. They're like a hive mind or the board or something. Yeah. That's the way they do it. So we got to call on Dan Bongino's army and the Pollack army and the puppet platoon of patriots.
The plush puppet platoon of patriots.
That's right. The
patriotic plush puppet platoon of patriots.
How about we just call it the plush patriot platoon?
Well, that sounds a little,
What?
Soft. Wrong march. So here's the deal. So we had the Columbia thing, and I'm trying to get through all these headlines before we take a break and bring in our singers.
Okay.
We had the Columbia showdown where they refused to take their criminal migrants, criminal aliens, and Trump sent them back. And then he said, fine, you're not going to take your people. 25% tariffs turned into 50% tariffs, visa restrictions, travel restrictions. I think it took about 2 hours before Columbia goes, okay, fine, we win. That's what FAFO in this Trump administration looks like. Trump is not playing around. Now, of course, one other thing you missed.
The reason why they said that they weren't going to take them, though?
Why? Because they don't want their criminals back in their own country?
No, they said because until we can treat these people with dignity, because they were wearing restraints on their arms and their legs, they're criminals in our country.
Criminals. And there's everyone's like, they're not all criminals. They're not all criminals. Trump said
they are all criminals.
They're all criminals.
They're all here illegally.
They're all here. Thank you, Puppet. They're all here illegally. They're all criminals. Send them back. And, of course, Puppet, if you missed this week, they're back with calling us Nazis again. Now, Elon Musk is apparently a Nazi now because he said his from the heart. What's that?
You saw him at the inauguration.
Yeah, because he said from the heart and put his hand on his chest and threw it to the crowd. That automatically meant he was a Nazi, of course.
Yeah,
because,
of
course. But you know who else is a Nazi on that same test? Here, check it out. We have AOC. definitely a Nazi.
Yeah,
Definitely a Nazi.
sign. That's a Nazi sign right there. That's a
Definitely
guarantee.
twice she did
And
it.
you can't weasel your way out of
She
that.
wasn't. She's such a Nazi. She had to change hands, and
She
do
did
it
it with
from
both
both
hands.
arms.
Oh, yeah.
Right. She had to do both arms. That's how much of a Nazi she was.
Yep.
Now, of course, Taylor Swift,
Nazi. Total
Mhm.
Nazi there.
Definitely a Nazi.
She's at least doing the Nazi slip.
Definitely doing the Nazi.
Yeah.
We have look here, Barack Obama, Nazi.
Yep.
Hillary Clinton, definitely
Nazi
a Nazi, but I would agree with that even if she wasn't doing the Nazi salute.
Yeah, I agree.
And of course, down here we have our dearest Kamala, Nazi.
Communist.
A lot of Nazis here, Puppet. I mean, you know, I even had. Do I have Tim Walz as the Nazi? Hold on, I think I have that one too. There was one where
He's just a drag queen.
Let's see if I have it. I don't have it. There's one where Tim Walz did the literal exact same heart to you salute Nazi. So,
and that's because Walz and Elon Musk are both a little socially awkward, you know.
But they're all Nazis too. So
and they must all be Nazis.
So here's the good news, Democrats. We have equality now. Everybody's a Nazi. We don't need DEI anymore because we're all Nazis. So maybe
we could just go from just calling each other Nazis to actual context.
Yeah,
because context matters, right?
Oh, you mean somebody getting capturing a picture of somebody's arm being raised in front of them doesn't mean they're Nazis?
No.
Or like you're not racist for everything, and you're not homophobic for this or that. You're not transphobic for this or that. Wow, so we just can't call everybody things anymore?
No, you actually have to listen to what they're saying. Like now, in certain cases, what they're saying does make them a communist, a socialist, a Nazi, a transphobe, or whatever. Yeah. But in other cases, like in this case, if you listen to Elon Musk, he has never talked about being a Nazi. He doesn't promote.
He supports
Nazi,
Trump,
right?
Puppet. He supports Trump.
Yeah, yes, he does.
Must be a Nazi.
That's not
right? We're all Nazis. Remember the Nazi rally in Madison Square Garden that I attended?
Oh, yes. And the very fine people.
Very fine people on both sides. Let me tell you something, Puppet. These people are nuts. Even Al Sharpton was in Costco for a pro Costco march. I think he wanted the $1.50 hot dog, and he was too cheap to spring for the membership. That's what I think. But he took all of his people to Costco to say, Trump's racist because he's getting rid of DEI policies. Guess what, Al Sharpton? The civil rights era is over, and black people can get jobs, and they don't want you acting like they can't. They also know that, listen, I have a few black friends, Puppet. Don't tell, because we're supposed to be Nazis. And guess what? They know how to use computers. They have IDs. Did you know
they
that?
Can get IDs and everything.
Did you know black people can get IDs now?
Yeah, I heard that.
Have you heard this? And they know how to vote in person. It's crazy. A lot of things that Al Sharpton doesn't realize. We need to, you know what we need to do? We need Al Sharpton to get some real black friends, because then he would know that they don't need Biden's BS racist DEI policies, right? And there's actually people of color that have merit, right?
Right. And if Sharpton actually cared about the black people, he might actually be trying to fight these laws too, because this thing puts trans people who aren't even puts them right in front of the black people in line. Yeah. So put the trans people in front of the black people, puts everybody in front of the black people. Black people's yesterday's minority group.
Well, yeah, exactly. They don't care about the black people anymore. Yeah. But and the thing is,
Asians too. Asians are not yesterday's minority.
Yeah, they use those guys. They use those guys for a little bit. But then once the black vote went to Trump, largest ever in history. Once the Asian vote and the Hispanic vote, they're like, dang, we need a new group.
Else.
How about the trans people?
Sure.
Mr. President, this is in Joe Biden's administration. Mr. President, yeah. We have a problem. Black people and Hispanic people and Asian people and women and college-educated women and white men and college-educated white men. They're all voting for Trump, sir. What do we do? Trans people. I thought there was only a couple of them. We'll just pretend everybody's trans. I like it. So that is what DEI is, and it's gone away. Gone. And Al Sharpton got a hot dog for $1.50. With that, Puppet, I'm going to take a quick break because I want to get our guest panel in, because we have two of my good friends and maybe some other surprise guests coming up. You know how musicians are. They sleep because they're up late at night performing. we have a couple of guests coming, and DPAK is a good friend of mine. Sean Holcomb is a good friend of mine, and I've met him through various places in politics, and I've just fallen in love with both of these guys. They're amazingly talented, and we have the best musicians. And you know what? These guys play because they actually believe in the movement, not like Beyonce taking her $15 million and going home. So I'm happy to feature these guys. When we go back from the break, you're going to hear a little song from Sean, and then we're going to talk to Sean and DPAK, and we're going to end the show with DPAK's latest hit, the Trumpety Dance. So I'm really excited. We're going to talk music. We're going to talk politics. So stick around, because the David Pollack Show is going to be back right after this.
I'm Scotty Cahill, and I'm the founding partner at FinSec Life. FinSec Life is an independent agency that works with a multitude of carriers that brings the best pricing to each client we serve. With our 40 plus years of experience in the industry, allows us to deliver unique results to each individual client. We do not get paid until your policy is placed, until you have your insurance. So we will do the work. We will ensure that everything is taken care of, whether you get the best pricing, whether you get treated fairly by the underwriting team. If you have an existing policy and you want to know whether the policy is performing as it should, or if you have additional needs for insurance, please contact us at 321-800-3901, and we'll be happy to quote you on a new insurance. The phone number again is 321-800-3901, and the website is finseclife.com, financialsecurityforlife.com.
In today's fast-paced world, effective communication is the backbone of successful businesses. Are outdated systems and high costs slowing you down? Switch to Public Telephone Company for cutting-edge voice-over IP solutions. Enjoy seamless connectivity, unparalleled reliability, and significant cost savings. Tailor-made voice-over IP solutions designed for your business needs. Join countless businesses in transforming your communication with Public Telephone Company. Public Telephone Company. Revolutionize the way you connect.
I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free.
I am so sick of this woke crap.
Let's watch TV for normal people.
A super influencer is someone that takes the cause that they fight for, whether it's social media, networking, partnerships, and just dominates that movement with it. Let's get into today's episode.
We got to build a chicken coop today.
We have 4 beautiful children that we adopted.
Anytime you're out there with your kids, it's teaching them to be a productive member of society. Let's herd them like cattle, boys and girls. Come on. We take race out of it. We parent based off principles.
We're going to take everyone's phone so they can sit and actually talk to each other.
This is a kitchen fight for sure.
My name's Tito Ortiz.
Get some!
Everybody knows me from the fighting world.
Real.
But I'm also an avid fisherman.
Tito Ortiz got his sea monster.
Hello! go.
Hey guys, it's Conservative Ant.
I'm Kendall in Kentucky.
I'm Blake Reynolds.
I'm the Patriot Barbie.
I'm Amber Nicole Ortiz.
Check out the first and only non-woke entertainment.
Only on We the Studios.
You have daughters cheerleading, then you have parents chopping off their breasts.
There's so much to do to
I said I loved you. You said nothing at all. I laid right there, let the ton of bricks fall. I waited for you to come over, reach out your hand. Now here lies a fool who once stood a man. Yeah, the miles of road between us are bringing me down. Yeah, the lines on the highway are taking me heartache bound.
Wow, Puppet. I
That was
could listen
good.
to that all day. I could listen to it all day. Sean Holcomb is one of my favorites in this world. I met him at a fundraiser. Actually, I got really lucky. We were planning a fundraiser for Corey Mills back in his first campaign at this awesome ranch called Horsepower Ranch here in Central Florida. And the owner there of the Horsepower Ranch was like, Florida. He's like, I got a great musician for you. I think if I can get him, I don't know if he's going to be available. And he found Sean Holcomb. Him and his fiddle player are absolutely amazing. And when I heard them play, I'm like, I love these guys. And I've gone to many shows. I've seen him perform at Dr. Phillips Center. And Sean Holcomb's just one of the nicest human beings on the planet. And I'm really excited that he's joining us here tonight again. He's been on the radio show. And so anyway, Sean, welcome to the TV version of this show with my patriotic plush pal Puppet.
How's it going, guys? Good to be here.
We're happy to have you. And also, I'm bringing in tonight my other patriotic friend. Why does it get that reverb?
Weird, Dave.
You hear me, right, Puppet? So anyway, DPAK, sorry. For some reason, my restream has this glitch when we're live. And so when I do anything digital, I start hearing myself and I look like a lunatic. Welcome, DPAK. Now, DPAK, I've met him at the Making America Healthy Again event for the first time. Now, I spoke to him before that on Spaces because he is the brains behind the musical score of Plandemic the Musical. And if you guys don't know Plandemic the Musical, it's an amazing, free. You can guys find it in a lot of places, and I'll let DPAK tell us where you guys can get it. But it goes into all the things that went into the pandemic. And they did it in a hilarious kind of twist. There's four different Plandemic series, and the fourth one is a musical. And DPAK put out that score for that, and it's fantastic. Plus, I've seen him at multiple events, jamming in hotel lobbies at AmFest, and he was just performing. He's just fresh off performing at the presidential ball in Washington D.C. So, of course, I have to have you on the show. Also, it is my honor and my privilege to have you here. And this, my audience and Puppet, is the music of MAGA. These are Americans. These are patriots. These are people who I've met along the political way. And I wanted to do something fun tonight and kind of have everybody in, kind of make it lighthearted, may not, but I wanted to have everybody here and kind of talk about the musical side of MAGA. So welcome both of you, DPAK, Sean.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely.
How you doing? Make sure my audio is all good, right?
Your audio is great. Now,
Great.
It's probably a moot point now because you're already on camera and you're live. Your fan looks like I'm ascending into heaven, but that's okay. We're just gonna roll with the theme. There you go.
That's great.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's good.
Perfect.
It's like those Renaissance painting. Now you have a halo. It's perfect.
There we go.
It's all good, brother. It doesn't matter.
Nice.
Yeah, perfect. So we're happy to have you. I'll start with you, Sean. I want to get your take, and then I'm going to go to you next, DPAK. So, we met a couple of years ago. I think it was 22, halfway through the Biden administration. I know you don't really get too political because you like to entertain everybody, and music should do that. But how are you feeling now that Trump is president? How is it impacting? Has it impacted you in any way? Or what's your take on what just happened here in Washington?
Oh yeah, well, it impacted me pretty big on Monday. I celebrated till I didn't feel like I was a normal person till Wednesday evening. Yeah, no, we were very excited about it. But one thing I've noticed was a lot of the venue owners and the ultimately we make our living off of people spending their hard-earned money to come and watch us do what we are lucky enough to do. But they have to spend their money somewhere, and it normally goes to a venue owner, or a person who has financial interest into a bar, a giant, venue of whatever, restaurant on the beach, whatever it is, or performing arts center, in Orlando. And everybody, especially since Monday, I've talked to a few of these owners, and they're just so relieved because their whole livelihood is invested into this business that we get to profit from, being a part of entertaining their crowd or wherever we're at. And so ultimately, just without feeling the ripples immediately, there's just a weight off of the shoulders of some of these folks that we get to work in, their venues. And I think that's a huge thing. They're like, oh, thank God we might be able to finish this new edition or put on, fix the coolers in the bar, like, hey, we're going to put some money into this now. I think we'll be okay. There's a lot of opportunity out there that I think a lot of the business owners are now going, and that's included being a small business, independent operators. We're just like, okay, I think I can buy that new PA. I'm pretty sure there's going to be people spending money where I can make that thing work for me. So that's what I'm seeing, and it's hopeful.
Yeah, interesting point. You're right, because people have suffered for so long under Joe Biden and with inflation, and they're already critical. Trump said he would get prices down. Prices haven't gone down yet. He's been president a week, but that's the thing. You're right. A lot of people have been hurting and just kind of getting by, and I don't think we've quite seen really once Trump's policies go into effect and the burden is lifted on a lot of people. I think people will go, oh my gosh, I didn't realize how much we were suffering. Sometimes you don't realize how much you're suffering until you're not suffering anymore. And that's an excellent point. There's a lot of people who've dealt with having less, and it just became, the new normal under the Democrat regime. And I think you're right. I think that's going to be a shock for people to see that we can actually live in America's golden age, as the campaign has called it. DPAK, so, you performed at the presidential ball. Now I was at Liberty Ball. You were at the one you were at the one I wasn't cool enough to get into. And tell me, what was that like to perform at the presidential ball, and what has been your experience with this entire journey, performing at the Maha event in DC, and just everything that went into really what culminated on last Monday?
Yeah, it's just, and I think Sean was just referring to a kind of a similar thing. It's just really energy, and the energy everywhere is just really feeling positive. And I think a lot of it, in the last few years, regardless, it woke us all up to step into a lot of what we need to be doing as a people. I think regardless of the people, regardless of what the government's going to be doing, I think as individuals, we need to be really stepping into personal responsibility, stewardship. So the principles of the Declaration of Independence really are of individual freedom and liberty. And sometimes I think as a people, we might get a little apathetic or sleepy or think that everything's all good now, the government's got it covered. And I think a lot of the last 4 years was about seeing, oh, if we fall asleep, this is the kind of stuff that can happen. Like, people are waiving their rights, we're complying with unconstitutional mandates and things like that. And I think it was a nice wake up to now step into hope and energy, and all of a sudden everyone activated and then showed up these last few months at these events. Like you said, Rescue the Republic in DC, hundreds of thousands of people, millions of people online gathering at these events, showing up, like Defeat the Mandates. I performed at a lot of these events in the last few years, with other amazing musicians like Brad from Five Times August and Jimmy Levy and High Res, and a lot of us were on the scene performing at a lot of these big events. And to see it all now come together into what's going on in DC with the inauguration and playing, I was invited by Bobby Kennedy and his team to play the Maha Ball, as well as Trump and their team to play the Starlight Ball. And it was just a lot of just positive energy. And you've got all these different types of people gathered together. You've got blockchain people and decentralization and tech. You got Silicon Valley, you got the health and wellness and the biohacking people over here. And it's a lot of different people that were not really necessarily all aligned that suddenly were together. And that felt really special. It was like health and wellness, kind of hippie, alternative health people meeting, patriots, meeting like crypto blockchain nerds and Silicon Valley people and people of all ages. It was just amazing to be in DC around that energy. And for me as a performer, it felt really good to be able to, just to be in that musical celebration, bringing the music to some of. Well, let me make sure that doesn't happen
there
again.
you go.
Anyway, so just to be able to bring the music was an honor, to be invited in the first place, and just to be in celebration. And seeing you at a lot of these events recently, David, and at Turning Point and all the other stuff, you could feel the energy in the air, and just it was undescribable in DC. Just the amount of just charge and electricity that was there. It was quite special. I've never seen DC be so cool. DC was always kind of a dry and kind of uptight place, and suddenly it had the cool vibe. It was just cool. I was like, I never thought I'd say DC was suddenly cool now.
That's actually a really interesting point. And because I remember when I went to the Madison Square Garden rally, the big Nazi rally.
Still good here?
What's that?
Hey. Nope.
Hi. Oh, poor DPAK. All right. He'll be back.
No.
But the point I was getting at with when I went out to the Madison Square Garden event, that they called the giant Nazi rally, it was not New York City like you've ever seen before. There was like all MAGA people. You were a Republican walking around New York City, not getting. Let's see if we got him back here. Are you back?
Yeah, that was weird. I was actually talking the whole time. I didn't know. When did I disappear?
When you were talking like, hello, it was like one of these moments, I thought you ascended back into heaven. Something happened. And, but either way, what I was saying was,
what was the last thing I said? All right.
You said something about writing a song about me. You were so inspired, by every, but no, what I was saying was the Madison Square Garden rally, the Nazi rally, the Democrats called it. It was so different. The energy was different. You could walk around New York City as MAGA. And you're right. Washington, D.C. this time around wasn't stuffy. It wasn't establishment-y. I mean, even on the stage, on the platform with President Trump, you had Zuckerberg and Elon and Bezos and his girlfriend or his wife or whatever she is now with the low-cut top.
Her breasts.
Yeah, and her breasts were there. And they puppet.
Puppet.
Yeah. But it was just a different vibe. It was a cool vibe. And you're exactly right about that. I want to ask you, and then I want to ask Sean, you've performed a lot of big shows. Was performing at the presidential ball up there? Well, while he thinks about that.
You said Sean. You said Sean just now.
Oh, no.
DPAK, you're killing me. No.
You said I'm going to ask Sean.
I said I'm going to ask you first, and then I'm going to ask Sean.
Oh.
What was it like performing at the presidential ball? Was it up here or what? What's going on?
Yes, it was up there. It was epic. It was fantastic energy again. It was cool. It was super high vibes, and everyone was in such an electricity and such a spirit. And to be a part of that and to sing for that was magical.
Awesome, brother. Sean, I want to ask you. I mean, out of all the shows you performed, I'm curious to know, what was your biggest show, your best, your greatest moment so far as a performer? And I know what you're gonna say, but other than this one, the one where I was sitting there right next to the stage and you got to look at me the entire time while singing country love songs. Other than that one, what were you?
Oh man, I don't know, man. I think honestly, I don't know, man. Ryman's cool. I think when we opened for Kenny Chesney with Johnny Bulford and his band. That was a pretty big one. That was a ways back, but yeah, to be honest with you, I think those shows at the Dr. Phillips Center have been pretty special too. Not just because you were there, side stage, David, but it didn't hurt. It was just that, yeah, we've been honored to be able to play some pretty cool stages with a lot of really amazing talented artists. Kind of hard to nail them down, but yeah, I think the biggest one was that Chesney show back then, and then I got kicked out of it the next day. I tried to go see Eric Church, and they're like, "Well, your lanyard doesn't count for this day." I was like, "But I just played that stage," and they're like, "Well, yeah, that was yesterday. You need to get one of today's lanyards or go buy a ticket." I was like, "Okay,
Wow.
yeah." Oh, we were low man on the totem pole, but those were great memories. But yeah, man, I can't imagine, just the honor of performing, and it was an honor, David, how I met you, being, invited to do that rally for, for Corey Mills and Ted Cruz being there, and you and I standing in that spot talking about the song that we're going to finish
someday.
Yes, sir. Yeah, yeah. Those are the special ones, I think.
I love it.
All right, I got a question for you guys because I'm into music. I don't know if you can tell, but I have an excellent singing voice.
I would have pegged you as a drummer.
Well, yeah. Well, I do a little like.
He does beat his drum routinely.
Yeah. Yeah. David's one to talk. They're not going to make any comments there, David.
Just not while the camera's streaming. Anthony Weiner already covered that. Yeah.
No. What I meant by that, he's always banging on his box to get out. Let me out. It's puppet. I want to be on TV. That's what I meant.
Okay. He's weird sometimes, guys. Yeah. I apologize for this. I really do. Sometimes I let him play host, and this is what happens. Okay. So let's act serious. I was going to give you a little demonstration of my singing voice. Me. But I'm going to spare everybody that.
Thank you.
And
actually wasn't too bad, actually.
Oh, thank you, DPAK. Thank you. Thank you.
That was better than Billy Ray Cyrus.
Well, you really know how to touch my achy breaky heart. You know that, Sean? You really do.
Nice.
I told David I was going to dress up like Billy Ray.
I wish you would have.
Oh man, I was close.
Yeah, I wish you would have.
I didn't get the memo. I was like,
I was going to dress up like him too, but no.
Next show, we'll all do it.
I'm dressing up like David Pollack. Look at me.
So what was your question, Pup? You said I have a question, and all you did was complain about me.
Well, that's the good part of the show. Okay, the question I have for you guys, for you gentlemen, is what inspires your music? Okay, first I'm going to go to DPAK, and then I'm going to go to Sean.
See how clear that was, David? See how clear that was?
Okay. Even
DPAK. Is it DPAK or DPAK?
DPAK.
See, that's what I said. He mispronounced it, I think.
No, he didn't.
Yeah. So.
Oh, good.
He was such a.
Go ahead, Puppet. Go do your hosting stuff again.
Yeah, so what inspired? I mean, the music. To be honest, I'm sure Sean can relate. Anyone that does music, there's always a different inspiration for every song. It could come from anywhere. It could come from a thought or a moment. A lot of the stuff lately, around the scene, around what's going on, is coming from the world. Like we see issues. I'm seeing issues in the world. I'm like, hey, I got to sing about it. Sometimes it's a love song. Sometimes it's an emotion. I'm driving in my car. I might hear a beat. I might be on the piano playing or playing on my violin. By the way, I liked your song earlier with the fiddle, man. I play fiddle.
Thank you. Good to know.
That's one of my main instruments. That's my main instruments, the violin. But I might be like fiddling an idea, and then it might just turn into a song. It might be me journaling my feelings, which turns into lyrics, into poetry. So it all comes from different places. But I think a lot of the music that specifically has been done for the scene around movement-based music, like waking people up, has been specifically like, hey, there's problems in the world. There's people challenging. We're complying. We're losing our freedoms. We got to sing about it, and let's unite. That's what that song, the Together We Rise song, which is the one that got me to all the inaugural events, was about. Uniting together. Divided we fall. Those kind of concepts that are been around for hundreds of years with America. Those are songs that I just wanted to revamp and bring an anthemic sort of Imagine Dragons kind of stadium energy to it. And that's the main song that got us to all these events this last year was Together We Rise. And it was just about unity. Together we rise. And it's pretty much self-explanatory. But, there's a lot of metaphors and lyrics in there that relate to what's going on. And, the talking heads that want to blind us and lifting the veil of illusion of the lies that are out there. But also knowing that regardless of that, we still can, anytime we want, just all rise up together, that kind of song.
If I didn't ask here, I would neglect a perfect segue to say, well, you have your guitar in your hand. Do you want to play some of it?
Yeah, I'll just give you like a little taste of it. Rise up from the ashes, rise up from the flames, see through the lies that feed the fires that we create. Oh, come out from the shadows, come out in plain sight. Nothing to lose, it's time to move into the light. Get it together, united, denying or fighting, no more hiding anymore. A story we write, or music we can't keep quiet anymore. 'Cause together we will rise, together we will rise, together we will rise. Can't wait any longer, it's our time, yeah, it's our time. Together we will rise. Together we will rise. Together we will rise. Wait any longer. It's our time. It's our time. Oh, oh, oh.
Oh yeah.
Nicely done. Thank you for that. Wow.
Thank you. And that was co-written with my partner Johnny, who was with me at the inaugural event. So it's like a duet, and there's like big harmonies, and it's got like a big kind of rock sound. That's sort of like the little scaled down solo acoustic version. But I do it on the piano too. Play it on the piano.
I heard the full version of that because that's in Plandemic, isn't it?
It's at the end of the Plandemic musical. It was written as the anthem for the United Independence Movement, which like Bobby Kennedy was when he was running independent. He was kind of repping the indie scene, and so we like had it for that too.
Spectacular, spectacular, man.
Great song. Great song.
Sean, throwing over to you. What inspires you?
Oh man, it's I don't know. It comes and goes. I think I think DPAK could probably relate to that. Sometimes you're inspired by overhearing a stranger say something, and you go, wait, that's a line, or that's something that feels something, and then that line may bounce around your head for years until you finish out what it was supposed to fit, the story it was supposed to explain. And a lot of it's practice is, it's like anything you do, whether it's broadcasting, journalism, practicing law, anything, everything's practice. So we do force ourselves to practice what we're preaching. And I try to force myself to write, and, sometimes it comes, sometimes it doesn't. And, but it's, just keeping that edge sharp. But as far as inspiration, man, especially like right now, it's just looking around. And a lot of I think writing comes from within. So if you don't have something inside you, it's what are you doing? But I think most importantly is finding that feeling that's coming from inside of us, especially right now. And I think that one of the things that's uniting us, and being able to take that what's inspiring you and regurgitate it to where everyone else doesn't feel like this song is just from your perspective, but anyone that hears what you're singing or what you're saying, they feel like that's what they're feeling too, to walk in their shoes, not just your own. So it's kind of a burden that we also bear too, because I could write a song about something that happened to me, but no one else is going to really relate to that unless it happened to them too. So it's just kind of, we find a way, and just beautifully put in your song, that united so many people. And that's where you're like, okay, you took the inspiration, you applied your knowledge of songwriting, and all those years of practice, and you put it in that package to where now everyone else feels like this is what's on my heart too. And that's the the magic of it. That's the big payoff. You know, whether you make a dime or not, the payoff is watching all these people sing along and stream your song. That's awesome, man. I love that.
That's
Let
it.
me tell you, can I tell you my observation of both of you? And this is why I love both of you. The first time, you know, of course, do you remember, I'll tell you all this quick story. Sean and I, when he was on my radio show for the first time, and he played this amazing song on air. But then we went to a bar after, and a friend of mine, what's that?
Shocker.
Yeah, right. I thought Puppet was just shouting things. But we went to this bar after, and my friend owned the bar, and there was a stage right there. Nobody was on it. The bar was about to close. It was probably about, I don't know, like 1, 2 a.m. It was the closing time. Chef's cleaning up. It was one of those times, you know. And then I said, well, you know, Sean's a singer, and he's like, yeah. I was like, Sean, go play something. This dude runs out to his truck, and he grabs his mat that he brings everywhere with. He has like a cat, like an animal skin mat rug that he brings everywhere with him in case anybody asks him to play for random reasons. So he pulls out his animal skin rug. He puts it up on the stage. He grabs his acoustic guitar. He's hooked into the PA. I mean, this dude is set for an actual show here at like 1:45 closing time, right?
Yes.
And I knew Sean. I knew what he was capable of. But everyone's like, here's just some guy with a cowboy hat who's going to sing some shitty music with an acoustic guitar, and we're going to call it a day. He opens his mouth, and everybody from the bar just starts coming at the kitchen. The cooks from the kitchen come out, and the rag's still in their hands. Like, what in the heck is this? The bartenders leave the bar. The drunk guys who are about to call it a night drag themselves from around the bar, and literally anything that breathed, including probably the rodents, they were all going, wow. And that's what, and DPAK, same way with you. Like when we were in that hotel, it was so damn loud in that hotel lobby at Amfest. You bring your guitar, Jimmy Levy sits down next to you, and you guys just start singing, right? And at first there's a lot of background noise, and you guys are just doing your thing. And then the bar starts getting quieter and quieter and quieter, and then all you hear is your voices. That's what I love about what you guys do. You're so talented, and the way that you connect with people's souls in a way that normal people don't get a chance to do. And that's what I love about you guys. And that's what I loved about everything I got to see with both of you guys in the various stages of this campaign, is the way you've been able to connect with people in a way that people don't expect to be connected with. You know, you hear politicians talk, people get inspired, they believe in the policies and the movement, but to be able to touch people like the way you guys touch people through music, I'm a huge fan.
Definitely not the way David touches people.
Yeah, the Puppet only gets touched in his
totally
manhole.
weird.
So, yeah.
He tries to touch me all the time. Tries to touch me. And I'm like, don't touch me, Dave. Especially not there. And he tries.
Puppet, you're not one of those puppets, okay?
Jesus.
You probably failed out of being one of those puppets. You got rejected from being the touch me puppet. And
Wait, is that why we have to do this all remotely now?
Yes, it's a restraining order I have against the puppet.
Liability.
We had a moment there. I was telling these people how awesome they were, and then Puppet has to go and make it puppety.
That's what I do. I'm the comedy guy. I'm the comedy puppet.
I think my mom's watching this too right now.
Oh, sorry, Mom. Sorry, Mama Holcomb. Sorry, Mama Holcomb. We're going to put Puppet in his box later. He's been very bad. Well, let me do this because I'm running out of time, and I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. I'm ending the show, by the way, with the Trumpety Dance video, which is fantastic, and that's your newest release. And I'm going to end the show with it. But before we get to that point, before we get to the closing time, I want to...
Closing time. See, I'm a singer.
Nobody stops and listens when you sing. They all go.
That's because it's not good. They run away.
Yeah. Well, before we wrap, I want to ask you guys. I want to give you the opportunity to promo stuff, where you're touring, where people can find you, where people can download your music, where people can buy and support your music, support your movements, all of those things. I'm going to throw it over to you, Sean, and then over to DPAK. I'm going to be very clear on the order I'm going in. I'm going. But I'll throw it over to you, Sean. They'll go to DPAK, and then we'll close out with your amazing trumpety dance song that we're all going to start doing. Go ahead, Sean.
Gotcha. Hey, I'll be quick. It's SeanHolcomb.com. Sean, S-E-A-N, Holcomb, HOLCOMB.com, and there's links to all of Spotify and everything from there, social media and everything. So that'd be the easiest. And yeah, hope to see y'all on the road. Yeah, pass it over.
Where are you playing next? Where can people come and see you?
We'll be back at the Dr. Phillips Center in Orlando, March 12th, Tuesday, March 12th. I think there's still a couple tickets available for that, or check out our tour dates on the website SeanHolcomb.com.
Perfect. Over to you, DPAK.
Yeah, same thing. Super simple. DPAK, DPAK, no E, so just DPAK World. So that's on social media, DPAKWorld.com, DPAK World on Instagram, X, TikTok, everywhere else. And then in terms of where I'm playing next, I'm actually just finally been playing a lot nonstop the last year. I'm like just trying to lock myself in my studio and get a bunch of new songs that have been cooking for a while. Been playing them live, but haven't tracked them yet. Been playing a ton of shows with these new songs. Everyone's like, where can we get them? I'm like, I got to go record them so that you can get them. So that's the kind of the mission, So I'm going to get back in the studio. Just getting back to LA, like literally I was in EDC for like more than a week for all this stuff, and then had a lot of stuff the last couple of days after. Just got back literally a day and a half ago. So
wow. Well,
so guys, I'm back.
Guys, listen.
Awesome. And of course, you can find me, Dave.
In a box.
In a box.
In the box. Playing drums, practicing drums in the box.
Practicing drums in the box.
That's right. I'm a drummer, percussionist. I keep you up all night.
Let's put it in the box in the closet.
Put it in the box.
But listen, guys, I can't tell you how much I recommend that Dr. Phillips show for Sean Holcomb. If you're in the Orlando area, you have to go to this show. It's the theater is it's not a huge venue. There's food and drink. So you can have some really good food, really good drinks, and listen to some amazing music. I mean, it really will be a night, date night out with the friends.
Are you going to be in the wings, Dave?
Puppet, if you want to go, we'll go. I mean, I've been, and I'll go back. I'm a huge Sean Holcomb fan. Like, I'd be a groupie. So
you're hard.
If you let me touch his hair.
When I come down there, I got to check you guys out because my friend High Res. Guys, I don't know you guys know High Res. He lives in that area. And so I'm planning on visiting them.
Come down for the March 12th Dr. Phillips show. You will absolutely love it. And maybe if you get your violin tuned,
I see a collab. Yeah, I think we can do a little collaboration here at some point.
Without question. I love, and I'm freestyle guy. I play by ear, so I don't need to tell me nothing. I'll just get up on stage and I'll feel it out and find a good solo.
Yeah.
Find like nice riff lines. Never heard the song before. It's just kind of feel it. It's fun.
Yeah, I love it. That's
what he did with his brother at his last show. So the show I was at, he invited his brother up.
Yeah, Aaron. Yeah, the chief in the Navy. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was just playing. He was playing along. What was he playing? A cello.
Cello. Yeah.
Nice.
He's playing. He's just playing along. It was musical. It was amazing. Brilliant. But yeah, March 12th. I'm gonna try to go, Puppa. We should go, and then DPAK, you should come down. We should plan this.
I love it. Yeah, I'm supposed to be. There's like some Mar-a-Lago stuff on the wait list for February. So, if I'm down there, I'll just pop up that way too.
Done. I kind of love this. See, we're plan making on this show. And DPAK, before I'm gonna send you out, tell me a little bit about this trumpety dance song that I'm about to play for everybody.
So it's like the Humpty Dance, but it's the Trumpty Dance. It's an old hip hop song. It's just funny. Yeah, exactly. They do the Trumpty Trump. So me and Mickey Willis, who I made, he's good. He's like my brother, partner. He made all the Plandemic films. I did the music with him on those, and we made that. We've been doing a lot of media for Maha. So Maha was behind this too, a little bit with helping with the distribution, and we just wanted to make a fun celebratory video, just literally having fun because to lighten things up. And we released it like 3 days before the inauguration on all the Maha channels, on X, on Maha Alliance, and Bobby Kennedy's channels. And Bobby's in it. A lot of people did send us their cameo videos, and it's everyone doing that Trump, that viral Trump dance.
I know about it.
Yeah, so we just had fun, man. We did the whole thing, literally produced it, recorded it all within like 5 days, did the whole video. It was like a quick knockoff. It was just for fun. And we released it like a few days before the inauguration, and it's been getting spread around, and I'm glad you found it. It's gonna be a fun one.
I love it. Before I go and play that show and say goodbye to everybody, you have any closing words there, my plush patriotic pal Puppet?
Man, I'm so excited to have you guys sharing your talents here on our show. I appreciate you guys being here with us. Appreciate you spreading the word of unity, and I'm really looking forward to an amazing next 4 years. And hey, you guys were part of the movement to make it happen. I appreciate that. And from everybody out there, it's me, Puppet Carlson, and that the fleece stops here.
Always does. All right, guys, enjoy the Trumpety Dance video. Sean, DPAK, Puppet, thanks for always being here. Good night, everybody. We'll see you live next Monday, and I'm sure that actually I'm going to see you in a few minutes, Sean. We're going to a bar and with my puppet here. And DPAK,
nice to meet you, Sean. I hope we jam
Good to meet you, brother. Yes,
see you
sir.
in Florida
Make
soon.
it happen.
All right, guys, we'll see you live next Monday right here, same time, same place. Tell your friends. Good night, everybody. Enjoy the Trumpety Dance.
Good night.
The Donald Trump dance has become an absolute phenomenon.
It's weird, it's ridiculous.
Like they're doing that stupid dance he does. Just stop it.
Hey, stop what you're doing, cause I'm about to ruin the image of me that you're used to. I look money, a king bee making honey, see? Deep state, I hope you're ready for me. Now gather round, I'm the new sheriff in town. All my people rise up and stand your ground. Now drink up all the Diet Coke you got on your shelf. So just let me introduce myself. My name is Trump D. I like my mashed potatoes lumpy. Fake news, oh how I like to punk thee. That little sniper on the slope 10. He took a shot but he missed me. I don't fall, y'all, I'm like the ever ready bunny. Still going strong and spunky. So put on your big boy pants. Come on, let's do the dance. Trumpy dance is your chance to do the Trump. Come on, do the Trumpty Trump. Come on and do the Trumpty Trump. Check me out, y'all. We do the Trumpty Trump. Just watch me do the Trumpty Trump. Do you know what I'm doing? We do the Trumpty Trump. Come on, everybody do the Trumpty Trump. It's time to do the Trumpty Trump. Yeah. My favorite dish is a double Big Mac, cause I find it quite delicious. I ate up all your fries cause it's scrumptious. Hey yo, my squirrel, Peanut, are you listening? Yeah, they took you out like a rat. Why they treat you like that? It never would've happened, not with me. And yeah, safe to assume the communist agenda gonna end up in a tomb. Whoa, crazies, I always will evade thee. You never catch me cause you're just too lazy. Now join me and my homie fans, cause this is how we do the dance. Trumpy dance is your chance to do the Trump. Come on, do the Trumpty Trump. Come on and do the Trumpty Trump. Check me out, y'all. We do the Trumpty Trump. Just watch me do the Trumpty Trump. Do you know what I'm doing? We do the Trumpty Trump. Come on, everybody do the Trumpty Trump. It's time to do the Trumpty Trump. Yeah, black people do the Trumpty Trump. Yeah, do the Trumpty Trump. White people do the Trumpty Trump. Come on, they do the Trumpty Trump. Brown people do the Trumpty Trump. Yeah, do the Trumpty Trump. All the Asians do the Trumpty Trump. It's time to do the Trumpty Trump. All the people do the Trumpty Trump. Everybody do the Trumpty Trump.